Okay, so let's unpack this. For the longest time, AI images were, kind of a novelty act.
Close.
They were famous for these visual tells, terrible spelling, and of course the extra fingers on every hand.
The six-fingered hands, yeah.
It felt like those glitches were just baked into the tech, almost permanent.
They did, but it seems like those days are just fundamentally over. We're seeing a huge breakthrough here.
A generational one, it sounds like.
It is. Our sources are confirming Google's new image model can blend up to 14 separate images and keep 5 different people perfectly consistent throughout the output. Just think about that for a second.
That consistency, that was always the final hurdle, right?
Exactly. It's the technical equivalent of solving that whole uncanny valley problem, but for visual sequences.
Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is pretty straightforward. We've got this stack of the latest intelligence. It's basically an AI State of the Union, and we're going to distill the biggest knowledge nuggets for you. We're giving you the shortcut to understanding where the technology and, maybe more importantly, where the money is moving.
And we've organized this into 3 big areas, 3 critical fronts in this whole AI evolution. First, we're going to drill down into that massive leap in image fidelity, what the coders were playfully calling the Nano Banana Pro.
I love that name.
It's great. Second, we'll hit the chaotic market movements. We're talking NVIDIA's eye-watering earnings, some privacy warnings you really need to hear about Gmail.
Okay.
And finally, we'll look at OpenAI's big counterpunch for developers, the new GPT 5.1 Codex Max model. It's aimed at fixing really the most persistent problem in large-scale AI software.
All right, let's jump right in with the visuals then.
Let's do it.
Nano Banana Pro. We have to talk about the name first. It's memorable for sure.
Yeah, the code name for Gemini 3 Pro image is definitely a conversation starter. But for professional creatives, this isn't just about fun marketing. This thing has serious professional chops.
Because it fixes those real pain points that made AI art such a headache. I mean, we've all been burned by models that just create blurry text or, lose track of the main character after like the 3rd prompt.
So what are the specific upgrades here? Well, it looks like they solved the 3 biggest issues all at once. First, text fidelity.
Okay.
The output now has clean, crisp, multi-language fonts that actually spell things correctly. So you're not going to see a restaurant sign that says RESTUAANT anymore.
Which on its own saves commercial users hours of cleanup time.
Oh, for sure. That's a huge quality of life improvement.
Yeah.
But second, and this is where it gets really wild, is that consistency factor we mentioned.
Right.
The ability to pull details from up to 14 diverse reference images, maybe different poses, lighting, different clothes.
And maintain the identity of up to 5 distinct people across all of them?
Yes.
To put that into context for you, that means a big ad agency or a graphic novel publisher can define their entire cast of characters just once.
And then just generate dozens of variations or storyboard shots instantly without the characters sort of melting into different people.
Yes.
Precisely. Before this, iterating on a campaign meant regenerating assets and then manually correcting character details over and over. This new consistency, it drastically reduces post-production costs.
And speeds up the whole creative pipeline.
Exactly. For complex visual storytelling, like storyboarding a film or a webcomic, this is huge.
And what was the 3rd major improvement?
It connects directly to Google Search. This is critical for factual accuracy. So if you ask for a historically accurate visual, it pulls validated data.
So it prevents the model from just spitting out old meme nonsense or easily verifiable mistakes.
Right. It forces the model to ground its imagination in actual information.
That integration is plus. It's immensely powerful. And speaking of access, where can users find this new capability?
It's rolling out fast. You can use it right now through Adobe Photoshop and Firefly, or you can get to the core model through Google AI Studio.
Okay, and there's a detail about watermarks too.
A critical detail, yeah. For professional work, if you stick to the free Gemini version, you get that classic visible watermark. But if you're an Ultra subscriber or you're using AI Studio, you get clean, unmarked visuals.
Which is what you need for professional campaigns. So, okay, let's zoom out a bit. How does keeping 5 people consistent across multiple image blends fundamentally change how professional storyboards or campaigns are executed?
Consistency across characters drastically reduces cleanup and iteration time, making storyboards faster.
Okay, let's transition now to the broader AI landscape from these sources. It's a mix of rapid breakthroughs, some truly massive market data, and some pretty serious privacy warnings that you should pay attention to.
We have to start with market velocity, I think,
Yeah.
because it kind of validates everything else we're seeing on the technical side. It confirms the infrastructure demand is not slowing down at all.
And the big number is from NVIDIA.
Oh, yeah. NVIDIA reported $57 billion in quarterly revenue for Q3.
57 billion, that's just an immense number.
But here's the jaw-dropping detail. 51.2 billion of that came solely from their data center division.
Wow. And just to put that number in perspective for you, $51 billion is more than the GDP of several medium-sized nations. It just shows you how foundational the infrastructure play is right now.
And demand for their next chip, Blackwell, is reportedly off the charts. So this idea that the AI bubble is popping, it's just not supported by the infrastructure spending we're seeing.
So the investment cycle is still in high gear.
Very high gear. And then you have the visionaries like Elon Musk making these sweeping claims based on this acceleration.
Right. He's claiming that work becomes optional and money becomes irrelevant in, what, 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, which is an audacious prediction, to say the least. His comparison of a 9-to-5 job to hobby gardening is a wild take.
It is.
But it shows this deep belief in rapid total automation. And at the same time, consumer-facing AI is also just exploding.
Yes, the music platform, Suno.
Suno just raised $250 million. But what's more telling is the adoption. Nearly 100 million people have already made music on the platform.
100 million.
Yeah. This isn't just some niche tool for pros. It's being used by beginners, people just exploring their creativity. That scale tells you a lot about mass adoption.
Okay, let's bring it back to some immediate practical takeaways for you. First, for students, Google is offering 1 free year of Gemini 3 Pro with unlimited chats.
That's huge.
It's a massive learning opportunity for the next generation of engineers and creatives.
Definitely jump on that if you can.
Yeah.
But here is the critical privacy warning. You absolutely need to pay attention to this. Our sources highlighted a major shift. Gmail is now training its AI for auto-replies using user emails.
Wait. So my personal emails could become training data for an AI that's designed to talk like me?
Potentially, yes. And the key is that you must manually opt out to keep that information private. It's not an opt-in system. It defaults to using your data unless you go in and change the setting.
It just highlights how much constant, quiet work is required to manage your digital life now.
It really does.
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself, and the idea of my emails becoming training data makes me pause. It just requires this constant maintenance.
That need for vigilance is really the big takeaway. The defaults are getting more and more invasive. On a lighter note, though, we also got a glimpse of Grok's personality in these reports.
It has some swagger.
A lot of swagger, yeah. It claimed it would beat Monet at painting and Manning at football.
Right, and only admitted that Shohei Ohtani is actually better.
That seems highly competitive and very confident.
And finally, a really practical update for navigating the real world. Google Maps is getting a lot smarter.
They're rolling out AI features like Know Before You Go summaries, a revamped Explore tab, basically real-time research spots delivered to you before you even leave the house.
So that's AI moving from the data center right into your morning commute. Given the speed and scale, NVIDIA's numbers, Suno's adoption, what's the single biggest risk in this accelerated expansion?
The biggest risk is not keeping up with rapid changes and the resulting constantly evolving privacy implications.
That vigilance makes perfect sense. Okay, let's pivot now to the developer space. This is where OpenAI delivered a serious counterpunch to the competition.
That's right. I mean, the field was getting crowded. Google launched Gemini 3. Microsoft poured billions into bringing Claude into Azure. OpenAI was a bit quiet.
And then they dropped this.
And then they dropped GPT 5.1 Codex Max. It's their boldest move yet, and it's aimed squarely at developers building complex, reliable AI agents.
What's so interesting is that they're targeting the most frustrating bottleneck in building those agents. What exactly is that bottleneck?
It's called context window exhaustion. You can think of it as acute short-term memory loss for the AI. The context window is just the amount of info the AI can hold in its active memory.
So on a long, complex task, it eventually just forgets the initial instruction.
It runs out of room and forgets, which effectively kills the agent's performance because the whole project just loses coherence.
Right. It's like trying to finish a massive software project, but forgetting the key architectural decisions you made 3 hours ago.
That's exactly it. So what did Codex Max introduce to fix this memory problem?
This is the key technical feature.
The solution is a really cool new trick called compaction. So instead of holding every single word from the entire session, the model uses these advanced summarization layers. It's like an intelligent tiered memory system.
So it distills the non-essential info down,
It distills it into shorter forms. It's like turning a 40-page meeting transcript into a single bulleted list before you move on to the next task.
which allows developers to build these multi-hour projects without that painful context loss.
Correct. And the performance metrics are extremely compelling. It uses 30% fewer tokens, it's significantly faster, and it's demonstrably smarter on real-world coding problems.
And they have the data to back that up.
Absolutely. They benchmarked it on the SWE Bench Verified test. This is the industry gold standard for complex, real-world coding. And Codex Max just decisively beats its competitors, Gemini 3 Pro and Claude scoring a 77.9%.
Whoa. Imagine scaling that compaction capability to handle 1 billion lines of enterprise code without losing the original architectural thread.
That is a powerful tool for large-scale software development and maintenance. And they fixed a long-standing complaint. It now runs natively on Windows.
Addressing that Mac-only bias that always frustrated corporate IT departments.
Exactly. And it's already live for Plus, Pro, Business, or Enterprise users. This is the correct, hard answer to every competitor.
Okay, so let's ask the key question here for the developers listening. Given how messy real-world software is, how effectively can a model focused on compaction truly prevent context drift in a really large, open-ended project?
Compaction offers a major leap, but context management remains the ultimate persistent challenge.
All right, let's pull all these threads together.
The battle for AI supremacy, as we're seeing from these sources, is happening on three main fronts at the same time. You've got the consumer creativity space with Nano Banana Pro finally solving visual consistency.
Then you have the foundational infrastructure and finance arena, which is just defined by NVIDIA's unprecedented $51 billion data center dominance.
And the incredible scale of consumer adoption, like we saw with Suno.
Great.
And finally, you have the specialized developer tools, where Codex Max is using compaction to solve that context exhaustion problem, all in the aim of building truly reliable AI agents.
The core theme here, really, is the rapid closing of these technical gaps. We're moving so quickly from AI as a novelty, defined by those 6 fingers and bad spelling, to professional-grade utility.
In design, in coding, in your daily workflow. But that utility requires constant attention from you, the user, especially with those shifting privacy settings in tools like Gmail.
This deep dive should give you the clarity you need to explore how these coding updates or this new image quality can impact your own work.
We really encourage you to test these new levels of consistency for yourself.
We hope this analysis gives you a solid foundation for understanding the current state of play.
And here's the final provocative thought for you to consider. Our sources show AI is rapidly solving its own past problems. It's fixing the bad spelling, it's fixing the short memory with compaction.
So if these models continue to compound fixes this quickly, what fundamental human creative task becomes truly impossible for AI to automate or at least assist with in the next 2 years?